Welcome to Angry Me Production.
And welcome to Angry Me Production. Today we're going to talk about media using itself to basically get their agenda on track. Because, hey, the government allowed it to do them for a couple of years. Why not do it again? Well, actually, most governments actually do this. So, Michael?
Well, you leave me with very little to say there, but it's common practice in a lot of areas for the media to represent its own personal or its own agenda and area, or to present it in a fashion that would mislead the viewers rather than just providing the facts and information.
They do that? No. No. I mean, here recently, the only thing... Well, there was a couple of things that happened here this week. One was the march in Virginia, Richmond, Virginia, to where they wanted it to be white people with guns doing white supremacy, showing, oh, you can't take away our guns because we're white. And there ended up being everybody, gay people, transgender people, black people, Koreans.
Yeah, you name it, they were there.
Yeah, basically. It was women. Everybody wanted the right to bear arms. And what's even worse than that is I saw a video of the Women's March, because they were actually heavily fixed on the Women's March. And you look at it, and it was a small crowd. They literally said, it's like, well, not a lot of people are coming to this. I was like, I mean, women change their mind constantly? No. They probably got men. Anyways. But what was really bad about that whole march was after it was done, it was trashed. I'm talking like litter everywhere. And what did the people that were evil carrying guns around? They had trash bags picking up trash after the event. That just goes to show you how bad we want to keep our arms. We'll pick up after ourselves, okay?
Apparently not just after ourselves, but after everybody else, too.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's a disaster. Let's help everybody. Let's make it better.
Yeah. Well, that's my spill on that, since the guy's pretty much a, what do you call it? Dictator. Dictator is a real word on that one. But anyways, we're actually, that's all with the Richmond and the impeachment. It's going toss and turn, everybody on each side of the news. If it's Fox is going off on the fact that the Democrats and leftists are trying to trash your rights and trying to destroy the president. And if you go on the left side by CNN or MSNBC, you pretty much got, oh, we're winning. We got this. We're trashing them. Mic fell off.
Yeah, and listen, it's you take it here in the States, you take any political agenda. Every news organization has their own political agenda, and they're going to basically put it out there so that they can not only gather the viewers that share that agenda, but they're also going to try to put it out there in a fashion so that they can spread that agenda. And
yeah, well, look at back when the last impeachment, other than Obama, that they did the same thing, but CNN used to be an actual news group, and during the Clinton administration, when they did the impeachment on that one, they freaking beat the holy crap out of them with like a baseball bat almost. I mean, I was surprised there wasn't a guy going out with a baseball bat and Tanya honoring freaking Bill Clinton, which would be wrong. But throughout the years, we actually have had the basic fact that, hey, Vietnam War was even worse. But in hindsight, what had happened was there was a... God, I can't even think of it. Oh, there was a almost genocide. Couple of U.S. soldiers actually committed genocide almost on this town, killing almost everybody because of a couple of their fellow soldiers. I can't even say the word soldier. Fellow soldier died and everything. But you just can't believe in the media half the time because they don't want to be straightforward and just do the news because that doesn't make money. And in hindsight, the government does use the media for their own benefits. If you don't believe that, just Google it.
Wow.
I won't even put anything in the description other than just Google, because you could find like a massive amounts of data from our country. Most notable is Russia, Iran right now. Most of them are either a dictatorship or B, hindsight to where it has to be the big government stuff.
You're right. Almost every country does institute control over the media to a degree. I mean, and if they didn't, we'd have a lot of problems because we'd have national secrets leaking out even worse than they already do.
Yeah.
And a lot of other countries work on the same principle. And furthermore, they want to keep their people focused on their agenda rather than letting them see the whole picture because, well, there's a lot of countries where, even though they're not dictatorships, if the general populace knew what was really going on outside the walls of their country, they'd either pack up and leave or they'd get rid of their leaders.
Yeah, which there's a lot of them that they really do need to get rid of their leaders. Talking about you, Iran. Yeah, bring it. But yeah, and it really it is. There is a lot of African countries. I mean, even right now, what's really I want to hear the Chinese news with their new carnivore virus. Yeah, it killed like 4 people, and it's spread by touch. Of course, if you're a gamer, you're pretty much safe. But there's no touching on that one. But no, and what's really bad nowadays is most people are getting their news from social media, from one person, and it's more or less like a gossip column on Facebook. You'll get, hey, did you hear so-and-so did this? And they're putting their narrative on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no one can go, hey, like what I did last week. I did a little bit of news thing just for our benefit on my Facebook page. I basically said Gwyneth Paltrow has started selling a vagina-smelling candle that's supposed to smell like her vagina for $75 a piece. And yeah, everybody looked at it, laughed at it, and a lot of people commented on it. Nothing seriously disgusting or anything like that. That came the next day when the photos came out. of like one was finally got Gwyneth Paltrow candle in the mail, and all it was a burning fish.
Yeah, and then somebody else goes, "Hey, look, it's the dollar store version of the Gwyneth Paltrow candle," and it was a can of tuna fish with a candle in the middle.
Oh man, that's classic. That's very good. But no, what's really bad is a lot of the stuff nowadays is more or less. Well, they keep on saying clickbait. I hate to tell you this, but this has been going on since the beginning of news, to where the first what is it called when the title of what there's this actual name for it.
I can't remember what it's called either, but the intro. The intro to the
it's
news
supposed to
gives you, we're going to be covering these topics.
No, it's not. Okay, it's not supposed to be that. What they're trying to do is they're trying to get you to read the article. And they've been doing this in newspapers. I took journalism when I was a kid in high school. Headline. There we go. On the headline. Someone is bound to get it. But the headlines on all news articles are supposed to throw you in there, get you wanted to see it or read it. And half the time the article doesn't have any real news on the actual headline, what it's actually supposed to get.
Well, that's...
I've read articles that basically ended up being, hey, the whole world is coming in and about because a meteor is about to hit it. And I was like, okay, I'm bored, so I'll read it. And I basically read it. It's like, yeah, this meteor is coming at us, but it won't get anywhere near us for 150 years.
And then when it does get near us, since it's already on a predetermined trajectory and probably already passed by us twice, it won't hit us.
Yeah. But most of the time, these headlines are meant to scare all and get you interested into reading the article.
Even in like your common news where they go, we're going to be covering these topics today, or they say, today on the news, there was a blah, blah, blah car pileup on the interstate. Well, I guarantee that's the last thing they're going to cover. They're going to cover everything else that means absolutely nothing to you. Talk gibberish, stick their 2 cents in where it don't belong. And then at the very end, they're going to talk about how a 15-car pileup happened because somebody was talking on their cell phone and didn't see the semi stopped in front of them. Oh. Not to mention, they're not going to cover anything else. It's just, that's what happened.
That just reminds me of what happened to me when I was driving up to South Dakota one time. I had a friend of mine. I trusted him enough to help me drive, which I shouldn't have. Because apparently he had bad vision. It was really foggy, and a bridge almost went into our view in front of our car. Did you know bridges move?
No, I did not know bridges move.
They move. I thought they were like bolted down or something.
Yes, they should be very stationary unless you're part of the Army Corps of Engineers. Then bridges move.
Yeah, they do in the Army. There was actually some interesting news. They actually have the logo for the Space Force, for the Air Force. It's actually going to be attached to the Air Force. But the whole reason why the logo literally looks like the United Federation of Planets logo from Star Trek. I'm like, can you steal that? I mean, there's still copyright laws. You did change it up just a tad, but that's part of our news for this week.
Yeah, I've almost pretty much given up on the news. I get people coming to me when I'm up at my job going, oh, did you hear about this, this, and this, and it's going to be World War blah, blah. I look at them and I say, you must not understand much. Well, how do you figure? Blah, 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 blah. No. Think for a minute. Use your brain.
Yeah. World War III only ends up... Okay, an actual World War III would have to be multiple countries going against another allied group of multiple countries. Iran is just Iran, and nobody really likes them. So, no one... It would be a world coalition, but it would pretty much be everybody else against one country.
Well, it would be more like God swinging in with a magnifying glass and toasting some ants.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, people want to go in and scream out, "Oh, we're all gonna get destroyed! They have nuclear capability." They have to have a hand to push the button. We would get rid of that hand pretty fast. But no, the thing on that though was they did do another airstrike. But the thing with these airstrikes is they literally tell the Iraqis that it's going to happen, and all the bombs, the rockets, don't have any explosive in them, and they're basically throwing away money without the big punch. It's like buying a bunch of hookers and just looking at them and not doing anything with them. They look pretty. You gonna touch it? No. Just, you still pay for the hour, right? Yeah. But so that's that. Pretty soon it probably ended up being another group of coalition to attack them. Maybe.
Wow.
We already got sanctions on them, and there's a lot of people that are. Listen, I don't have anything against like Democrats or liberals or anything like that, but there's some of them that are in office right now that what they're trying to do is basically keep their job. That's all they want. They're trying to use scare tactics through the media, saying, hey, we need to stop this stuff because we need to just be more kinder and gentler with these people. No, if someone comes into your yard and tries to mess up your stuff, Democrat or Republican, they're going to punch that guy in the face. After they talk to him, we're going to say, hey, why are you on our lawn? You don't like us? Well, get out. That's all we're going to do.
I can tend to agree with you on that one. I mean, I can't say that I think, Democrat or Republican are alike. I doubt either Democrats or Republicans would say, oh, you're on my lawn messing my stuff up, I'm going to punch you in the face. I'm pretty sure a good majority of people would be relatively civilized about it at this day and age and say, why are you on my property messing up my shit? And if the person goes, hey, I don't like you and I'm going to keep doing this, they'd get on their phone and they'd call the cops and they'd say, hey, come get this asshole.
Yeah, they pretty much would.
Our military forces are cops.
Yeah.
They do that job that most of the civilized people don't want to have to do anymore, and that's protect us. Take care of our stuff. Take care of our lives. Take care of our livelihoods. And how much respect do they get at this day and age? I mean,
it's actually it's really depending on where you're at. If you're in an area like New York where they did have a problem back in the 70s with the 70s and 80s, and you're looking at a big police force to where, yes, there were dirty cops, there were really bad cops, there were shitbags. We had them when we were working corrections. Surprising, we were actually good correctional officers. We just did our job. Basically make sure nobody hurt themselves or anybody else.
Or escape.
Or escape, yeah. I still want it. But even in that type of environment, he saw lots of people that were just douchebags. And anytime they hit that floor, they were pretty much letting everybody know that they think they're a badass. And they should automatically get your respect. I'm sorry. No matter what, you can't just go up to a person and demand the respect. No matter what. Now, the way you do it is to show that person that you're not a horrible person. Or fear. Fear does do that too.
Want.
Yeah.
If you have things you can take away from them that they want to keep, that works as well.
Yeah, fear. That's going on fear because they fear that you're going to take their stuff away.
But, back to what I was saying is, our military enlistment is actually relatively low at this point. And
yeah,
we need...
That's even on our police forces.
We need our police forces to be larger than they are in some scenarios in some areas.
But in jobs like that, it's a lot of stress and a lot of people burn out really fast. They don't...
Well, and all of that should be taken into account. I mean, look at Dallas. It's a 100% fact that, just judging from what I've seen from the news coming from Dallas about their police force needs better training.
Yeah.
Now, I'm certain they probably do not have a large enough police force. They probably do not have the correct funding to support a proper police force with proper training, but it's necessary.
And another thing about bad police force, I'm not saying they're bad, I'm saying they're ill-informed. There's a lot of things that you can actually get away with or not get away with, and no one really knows about it. I recently watched a video of an ex-con. This is back in 2007. Ex-con escaped from prison, was walking around, running around. Cop stopped him. A cop actually stopped him, asked questions, and the cop let him go. One, the cop didn't know what the actual perp looked like that was escaping from prison. So he ended up letting a guy go because he was ill-informed. And this is the cop bad in this instance?
No.
Did he ask the right questions? I watched the whole video. Yeah, he asked all the questions. He wasn't given a name. He gave him a wrong name. He didn't have any identification. In all reality, what the cop should have done was say, hey, let me go on the radio, talk to my superiors, have somebody come down. I found somebody that might fit this description, and we can get this taken care of. That guy actually killed like 4 people. So he doesn't really care about life. Maybe he changed when he was in prison. Maybe he didn't. Quite possibly, if you actually escaped, you didn't really care about other people's stuff. So
that's true. I mean,
and most police force, and they just don't get all. There are so many laws out there for penny ante stuff that you can actually charge somebody with, and most of the time they don't even charge them. And there's other things that they can actually let you go on. If you get in a beef with another person, like me and you were outside and we were arguing, and a cop came up and said, hey, what are you two doing? Well, we're upset at each other. We're thinking about beating the crap out of each other. Texas has a dueling law. You can't use like swords, pistols, or anything like that. You can beat the crap out of each other. Now, if you actually wanted to, you could take it to an actual gym and beat the crap out of each other. That would be the most civil way to do it. Doing it out front of a person's yard, one, you're in public. Public disturbance. They can get you on that. 2 people fighting, can't really do anything about. They can do something about it if one person says, oh, I think of assault. But if both the people agree to beat the crap out of each other, take it to a gym. Beat the crap out of each other. Get your stuff done with it. Am I exerting violence on this? No. Sometimes you just need to beat the crap out of people.
Well, that, and he's talking about a case where it's mutual, that two people want to beat the crap out of each other.
Well, there's lots of states that have that. Certain people just need to beat the shit out of each other. Get some sense in them.
But, you know, I was, going more along the lines of, we've got a lot of funding that's misappropriated in our government, and we've got a lot of news outlets that are not educating people correctly.
Yeah.
If the news outlets were educating people where all of this funding is going and what is it being used for and what has your politicians done for you, instead of talking about the random, oh, look at this kitty we saw, look, it can flush the toilet, and then going on a 30-minute rant about how they think the president is bad.
Yeah. Which is actually what the president actually put in a order for all the funding that happens at the end of the year, where they have to basically get rid of all, buy big things and everything so they can get the same funding they did last year. They put it in an order to where basically it stops that. Basically, hey, you're going to get your money next year. Just give us the money that you saved up from this year. And we'll just add it on for next year. Which it should have been done that way anyways. Instead of just losing funding. Oh, you don't need $20 billion this year? Oh, you didn't spend the whole $20 billion that we gave you? So we're going to go ahead and how much did you spend last year? $2 billion? Oh, really good. So we're going to take away $18 billion. No, you can't. You can't do that. Especially if the reason why you didn't spend all that money is because you couldn't have the people that we were supposed to train actually there because no one wanted to join the military that year.
Yeah. Listen, there's a lot of things that I see wrong that I really have no means to rectify myself. I mean, but those are my two biggest ones, is, not providing proper education to the people in the jobs that need those, that perform those tasks and do those jobs, and not providing proper education to the general populace, because I can guarantee 100% that public opinion would change if they were given the facts and allowed to make a decision on their own.
Yeah. But a lot of the spending that's actually in the government is useless. There was one. Well, it's like they had that one study about cow farts. See how much methane actually comes out of a cow fart. That was
a joke.
That was $16 million. $16 million to study cow farts. So I don't know how that money was well spent, but oh well. But we also have people that want to get your attention. Like the one recently was the kid that was getting yelled at by a Indian protester. And everybody in the news was condemning this person on the left side because he was wearing a Trump hat. Basically what happened was he was getting death threats afterwards. He ended up having to get up on off of social media because everybody and their brother was trying to assert themselves as being a hero, which they were being just dumbasses. And basically what happened now is he sued CNN for $275 million. And I think that's actually all the news groups that actually did do that. And he won the case. Why? Because it was defacement. Is that right? The word?
I don't think that's the right word. Defacement?
Defacement. Okay. They deface. Oh, no, defacement is like actually on a building.
Bless property, yeah.
Yeah.
Defame?
No.
I can't think of the word.
Anyways, we're gonna have to stupid it down because we're not that smart. Lots of bad people treated the kid really badly. Just leave a comment if the right word, because we'll learn it after a while.
And even if I learn it, I'll forget it.
I'll learn it. I'll remember it.
It'll be one of those times where I know the word, it's there. No, it's not there.
If anybody else has this problem, just let us know in the comments because it's fucking hilarious. But, I mean, you haven't really heard that much from the news groups as of anything bad. Of course, I don't think that anything really horrible has happened that they were supposed to tell us anyways. Because they're afraid of actual people suing them back and winning because they're basically being the big bullies.
Mm-hmm.
And it is both. It is most news groups, Fox News, they're bullying one side, and CNN and MSNBC, they're bullying the other side. And I've seen local news, because they were having a slow news day, tell news about Mexico City that a mass shooting happened in Mexico City, nowhere near United States. Now, is it newsworthy? Yeah, I don't mind not. I don't mind knowing that some kid died from a mass shooting. It's a horrible thing. But here's the thing about Mexico. There's literally shootings every day on every corner almost. They kidnap. They
Human trafficking.
Human trafficking, thank you. They steal people. I was going to say steal people.
Well, that kind of, goes right along with kidnap.
Yeah.
But
they basically have a lot of... Now, that stuff happens in the United States, too. Is it massively publicized?
No.
Locally, sometimes. Missing girl here, there, so-and-so. But there, it really is a big problem. The cartels are actually really terrorist, and if Mexico does ask for help, I wouldn't mind doing that.
Oh, there's a lot of things that, I wouldn't mind us as a nation trying to help out the world with, but on the same token, I think we need to get our shit in order before we go.
That is true.
I mean, now, if we've got a terrorist that comes and attacks us and they're from this area, and everybody in that area says, we agree, we think that should be done to the United States and anybody else who believes similarly, yeah, load up our military and all our boats and planes, send them over there and burn the place to the ground.
Well, not burn the place to the ground, they're actually innocent people, but get the bad guys and wipe their fucking bloodline.
Well,
I
said if everybody there agrees. I mean, yeah, there's probably innocent people, but you also
there really is innocent people. There's no probably. There are always innocent. And any kind of war type environment, there's always innocent people that get caught in the crossfire. But you also got to understand that, and this is on our soil or anybody else's. If someone decides to rob a bank, they're driving, they hit a couple of cars, that's collateral damage from that person. Is it stoppable? No, it's not stoppable. Could it be possibly stoppable? Psychics. You have to have psychics that can predict the future, like that one movie. What was it? Oh, can't even say the movie. Tom Cruise was in it. Minority Report.
Minority Report?
Minority Report. There we go. Yeah. You have to have psychics. That's the only way to stop that stuff. Pre-crime. They called it in the movie.
Yeah, well, I think there was an anime or a manga about using a computer system to monitor people, all the people, and if they seemed like they were going to...
Well, they did that in Captain America, Winter Soldier. They had a program set up to where they upload them on the new helicarriers, and they would shoot. It was supposed to be shoot the bad guys, but when the bad guys actually got the program, changed it up, and they were just shooting anybody that were supposedly getting powers.
Well, no, it wasn't that. It was the program monitored the mental stability of all people, and if they had a thought that was criminal, they would get brought in for to get their mental fixed. And if they couldn't get their mental fixed, they were classified a certain way and they were deemed a criminal. The system says you're going to commit this crime.
That sounds totally... Let's do it. I mean, there's no moments a person like me does not think of a horrible, horrible thing. Ever. By the way, I might have tried to kill you like 3 times in my head. About 10 minutes ago.
That's one of the reasons why we don't have rocket launchers on our vehicles. Damn, traffic! Get out of the way!
Well, I think that's it for us for today. My name is David Dickerman, and this is...
Michael Moffat.
And this is Angry Me Production.